Welcome to ZoTNEWS episode number 4. So we're already at the 4th episode. So this is basically the series in which I talk about various events and subjects in tech that happened over the past week. And this is probably one of the most interesting episodes yet because I'll be covering some news on Apple's 2020 Macs. The OnePlus 6 has been officially confirmed, some cryptocurrency news and updates, the Google Pixel 2 XL's camera, some updates there as well on the software side, Chrome OS tablets, and so much more. So yeah, get those snacks ready to go and let's take a look. Okay, so first things first, we have something so big that got leaked over the past few days, and I even want to make a separate dedicated video on this. So Bloomberg has confirmed via an anonymous source that Apple will be ditching Intel processors completely by 2020, which is huge, and instead they would be using their own processors, so Apple made processors for their Macs instead of using Intel processors. And because of this, by the way, Intel's stock has plummeted, and actually this could have a ridiculously good impact on consumers. So by using their own processors, Apple could not only achieve better performance, but also lower the cost of their Macs. And by the way, when it comes to the performance, take a look at the Apple A11 processor. This is Apple's most advanced CPU, which is used in the iPhone 8, the iPhone 8 Plus, and the iPhone 10. And this processor is very close in performance to Intel's top-of-the-line laptop processor that they currently sell, the Intel 7920HQ processor, which is actually the processor inside the top-of-the-line 15-inch MacBook Pro. And it's crazy considering that one of those two processors is the mobile phone processor. Now, most of this is because of how well iOS and Apple's processors work together. So iOS is taking full advantage of the new instruction sets that are found on the Apple A11 processor, whereas on a desktop OS, since Microsoft or Apple, they're making the operating system and Intel is making the processor, not all apps are updated to utilize the full power that's available in the system. So essentially by doing so, Apple could increase the performance on the Macs by a very large margin. So for example, take a look at Final Cut Pro, which is an app that's made by Apple, versus Adobe Premiere, which is an app that's made by, obviously, Adobe. So Final Cut Pro has significantly faster render times. Optical Flow, for example, can take up to 20 times more to render in Adobe Premiere, which is just crazy compared to Final Cut Pro, and that's, by the way, on the exact same system. This is just thanks to how well it's optimized for macOS and the small number of processors made by Intel that Apple includes in those Macs. So imagine the level of performance that Apple could achieve if Apple was making the processors inside their Macs as well. And speaking of making things, Apple's also making their own GPUs now, by the way, mobile GPUs that is. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about all this. Let me know if you want me to make a separate video about this because this is some very big news that could basically change the entire computing industry. I really want to make a separate video on this, so do let me know in the comments and I'll make one. So many things that I want to cover in that video. Moving on to the second topic, we have the OnePlus 6. So the OnePlus 6 has now been officially confirmed by Carl Pei. In case you don't know who he is, he's the co-founder of OnePlus, and he's also the public face of OnePlus. So you might have seen him in some interviews and some events. And speaking of interviews, he had an interview with The Verge last week, and they talked about how the OnePlus 6 would come with a notch. Because yeah, the OnePlus 6 would come with a notch. I talked about this in some of my previous videos. But yeah, OnePlus 6 will come with a notch. Now, he did get a lot of hate on Twitter, by the way. He tweeted, "Learn to love the notch," which obviously not a lot of people love. The notch isn't that good looking, especially if you have a chin, and I'm going to cover that in a second. So that's basically why he did the interview with The Verge. He wanted to, let's say, calm down the situation. But he also confirmed the OnePlus 6 design by posting an official image of the top of the phone. So there you go. This is the official image of how the OnePlus 6 is going to look like with that notch. But in case you're wondering, the OnePlus 6 would also come with a bottom chin, unfortunately, just as I mentioned before, like every single other notch phone aside from the iPhone 10. So this is because the display cable needs to go somewhere, and Apple managed to curve the cable from the inside, so they managed to curve the display, and then the cable goes behind the display, basically. So yeah, OnePlus wanted to do that as well, but apparently it's too expensive for them to do that, and it would also make the phone thicker, reason why the iPhone 10 is quite a bit thicker than the iPhone 7 or even the iPhone 8. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about smartphones that come with both a notch as well as a chin. I'll actually be doing a final leaks and rumors video on the OnePlus 6 because there's so many things that I want to talk about in that video, so definitely subscribe and enable notifications if you want to see that video as soon as it comes out. I'll try and get it as soon as we can, because we already have so much detail on the OnePlus 6. Now, most of you are probably aware of how good the camera is on the Google Pixel 2 smartphones, and this is because of Google's processing. So the HDR Plus mode just works like a charm, and it can produce some outstanding looking images with basically the best dynamic range on a smartphone right now. If you've seen my ultimate camera comparisons featuring the Google Pixel 2, you probably know what I mean. But one of the best parts about the Pixel 2's camera is actually the portrait mode. Or to be more specific, the way the Pixel 2 achieves the portrait mode effect, even though it only has a single lens camera on both the front and the back. And the good news is that Google has now made the segmentation map algorithm used in the Pixel 2's portrait mode open source. So essentially this means that any developer and any smartphone manufacturer can take full use of it. So we'll actually start seeing more and more smartphones on the market that will include this portrait mode effect, even the ones that come with a single lens camera module. And this is something that I really love about Google. Google does this a lot. They make some of their software, actually most of their software, open source and free to use by anyone who wishes to do that. I think this is amazing. The fact that Google's considering the greater good instead of just focusing on making more money, like pretty much every single tech company out there. And speaking of making money, cryptocurrency ads are heavily being banned. So Google has banned all cryptocurrency adverts, which is just huge. So this basically means that you won't be seeing, or at least you shouldn't be seeing, any crypto ads on Google search and on any websites that use AdWords as well as YouTube. So yeah, this is huge. But last week something even bigger happened. Twitter and also LinkedIn have also announced that they're actually banning all cryptocurrency adverts as well. So obviously this caused all crypto to drop significantly in value. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you invest in cryptocurrency, or even better, if you even mine cryptocurrency. Let me know in the comments. And finally, we have something quite interesting. So Google has unveiled the first Chrome OS tablet. But wait, Daniel, I thought Google had a few Chrome OS tablets already. Well, not really, those were Android tablets. So up until now, in terms of Chrome OS, you could find it on laptops, you could find it on 2-in-1s, which are basically laptops with touchscreens, some of them even with removable keyboard. One example would be Google's own Pixelbook, on which I've actually done an in-depth review a while ago. Definitely check it out. Pretty cool video. But yeah, basically last week, Google has unveiled the Acer Chromebook Tab 10. So yeah, this is pretty much a rival to Apple's new 2018 entry-level iPad, on which I've also done an initial review last week. So yeah, check those two videos out. Pixelbook and the iPad 2018 if you wanna, watch those videos. But interesting enough, the Acer Tab 10 has a 9.7 inches display, so the exact same size as an iPad, and it also has the exact same resolution and PPI as an iPad, so 2048 by 1536, which is really strange because Apple usually has those weird numbers when it comes to resolution because they want to achieve the same PPI on all of their devices, all of their iPhones, all of their iPads, 264 on the iPad, so that's why they have some weird numbers in terms of resolution. But this Acer tablet has the exact same numbers, resolution, and display size as the 2018 9.7 inches iPad Pro. And then it also starts from 32 gigabytes of storage, just like the iPad, and it also starts from $329, just like the iPad. But yeah, there we go. This was basically everything that I had to cover in ZoTNEWS episode number 4. So definitely subscribe and enable notifications if you want to see some more episodes like this one, some more cool tech videos. Hopefully this was a cool video. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think of videos like this, covering multiple topics, and what do you want to see in the next ZoTNEWS episode? What do you want me to cover next? Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think of these topics? And this has been pretty much it. So if everybody's like, if you've enjoyed it, let me know. I'm Daniel. I'll see you guys in my next one. ZoTech, signing out. Cheers.